both medicine and psychotherapy are designed to kill the messenger rather than listen to the message. And by that I mean to focus on symptoms and try and get rid of them rather than focus on whatever part is giving the symptom and listening to why. I recently reviewed a book that I thought was very clever, and I wish I could remember the author's name, but she had a great metaphor, which is when your car's red light goes on your dashboard, do you go and try to get rid of the red light? Or do you actually go and lift the hood and see what's wrong with your engine? And that medicine and psychotherapy is really trying to get rid of that red light. Some years ago, we did this arthritis outcome study. I want to give credit to one of my trainers named Nancy Soul, who spearheaded that whole piece of research and is writing a book on this topic now of IFS and medical symptoms. And during that outcome study in particular, we just found, as I think I mentioned this earlier, over and over, by using the arthritis, by using the pain as what I call a trailhead, just focusing on the pain and getting the patient curious about it. And these were generally, this was in Boston, at Boston Brigham and Women's Hospital. They were mainly 30-some Irish Catholic mothers. And as we had them focus on the pain of their arthritis, they began to hear from this part we've been talking about, this healthy, angry part, this part that wants you to assert yourself in your life and not take care of everybody all the time and have a life. And we began to hear about how much it hated the part that dominated their life, which, which Gabor just described beautifully, which we call a caretaking manager, but is a part that doesn't let you take care of yourself and is constantly worried about everybody else, constantly just caretaking. And that was the big polarization. And so as we had them then go to that caretaking part and do a piece of work with it around what it was afraid would happen if it didn't dominate so much, and work with the exiles it protected, and then came back to the part that was using the pain, things started to work out, and their arthritis got much, much better fairly quickly, to the point. And this was a really well-designed study with a control group and randomly assigned, and with blinded physicians evaluating the outcomes of the difference in the joint pain and so on. Had very dramatic outcome, to the point where we were able to publish it in a prominent medical journal called the Journal of Rheumatology. And based largely on that study, we're now evidence-based. We have some other studies too. But so from that, I started to try it with other kinds of symptoms and found very similar patterns, as did Gabor. And let me see. So for me, it's not necessarily the body's way of saying no, it's that part's way of trying to get you to say no, or at least try to get you to listen and not be so dominated by that other part, this polarization. So the reason I was asking about asthma earlier is that it's my belief that these parts, if you saw the movie Inside Out, you know that these parts sit in front of a kind of control panel, and they've got levers and buttons, and they know about your genetic predispositions, or they know how to push a lever and reduce your immune system, or have your body attack itself. They have that ability if they need to. And so, like I said, I had a genetic predisposition for asthma as well as migraine headache. And if a part wanted to take me out, it could flip that migraine switch, and I would have a big bad headache and I couldn't function. And then I started to use that as a trailhead and go find the part that was doing that, and try to understand why. And I don't have migraine headaches anymore. I'll get the aura once in a while. But so for me, that's when you don't listen to your parts, and when you instead are dominated by other parts that exile them, they don't have that many options. They can, and one of the options they do have access to is your body and medical symptoms. And so some of them are so angry and they're trying to punish, but others are just trying to get your attention, just try to get you to listen to them. And others are trying to get you not to do something, maybe trying to, and it's easy to start to think I'm doing this to myself. But when I have those conversations with patients, I'm very clear, no, it's just a part that's totally unconscious to you. And it's got nothing to do with you wanting to hurt yourself or your family this way. And we can actually help it so it doesn't have to keep doing that.